Ever wonder why ghosts don't make good comedians? Because their jokes are just too ghoul for most folks. Now, speaking of ghouls and things that go bump in the night, let's delve into the world of horror movies. They've become a staple of our entertainment diet, haven't they? From the spine-chilling classics to the eerie modern masterpieces, these films have a way of haunting our screens and our dreams. But here's a thought to stir your spirit. What impact do these movies have on their younger viewers, particularly those of the Christian faith? Is it all harmless fun, or are there more sinister implications? We opening a Pandora's box of nightmares or merely indulging in some spooky cinematic fun? We're not here to demonize, but to shine a light on the shadows, to question and understand. If you're a young Christian or a parent, you might want to stick around. Could be more enlightening than a ghost's luminescent aura. Now, let's not jump to conclusions faster than a vampire at a blood bank. Let's look at the facts. When you sit down to watch a horror movie, sure, you might be in for a good fright. But are you aware of what's lurking in the shadows? Studies have shown that horror movies can have a negative impact on children, causing nightmares, fear, and anxiety. You might think it's all fun and games until your kid is afraid of the bogeyman hiding under their bed or that creepy clown lingering in the closet. You see, horror movies are like spicy food. Some people love them and some people, well, they'd rather eat a plate of boiled Brussels sprouts. But for kids, it's like serving up a super spicy ghost pepper chili to a toddler. Their brains just aren't equipped to handle all that heat. And let's talk about nightmares. Now, we've all had that dream where we show up to school in our pajamas. But imagine a kid having a nightmare about a chainsaw-wielding maniac. That's like comparing a mosquito bite to a shark attack. It's not just a little, oops, I forgot my math homework, anxiety. It's more of a, I can't go to sleep because there's a monster in my closet fear. Now, I'm not saying all movies are bad. Heck, I love a good animated flick as much as the next guy. But when we're talking about horror movies, well, they're a different beast altogether. They're like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They might look fun and exciting, but underneath, they're packed full of fear and anxiety, ready to pounce. I mean, who needs a horror movie when you've got the thrill of a roller coaster, the suspense of a mystery novel, or the tension of a close football game? There's plenty of ways to get your heart racing without inviting Freddy Krueger into your living room. So, next time you think about popping in that horror flick, remember, it might just pop back in your nightmares. Now let's take a moment to exercise our brains and think about this from a faith perspective. Horror movies, whether they're spine-chilling thrillers or family-friendly spooks, often contain elements that can be pretty eerie from a Christian viewpoint. See, our faith encourages us to fill our minds with the good, the noble, and the pure, but horror movies, well, they're usually jam-packed with the exact opposite. First up, let's talk fear. Horror flicks are designed to make us jump out of our skin, right? They're all about that fright factor. But remember, in the Bible, in 2 Timothy, it says, well, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So when we're willingly subjecting ourselves to these fear factories, are we really honoring that verse? Next, violence. It's no secret that many horror movies are a macabre merry-go-round of violence and gore. But as Christians, we're called to be peacemakers, to turn the other cheek. We're encouraged to love our neighbors, not watch them get chased around by chainsaw-wielding maniacs. And then there's the occult. Ouija boards, seances, demonic possession. It's all par for the course in horror land. But as followers of Christ, we know there's a spiritual world out there, and dabbling in the dark side, even for entertainment, can leave us open to influences we really don't want to invite in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying watching a horror movie will turn you into a pumpkin at midnight, but it's worth considering what we're feeding our minds and spirits. Are we choosing entertainment that aligns with our faith, or are we letting in things that could potentially lead us astray? So, if you're thinking of horror movies as just innocent fun, remember, even the devil was an angel once. But wait, what about those family-friendly horror movies? They're like the Casper of the horror world, right? Well, not quite, my friends. It's easy to be drawn into the seemingly innocent world of family-friendly horror movies. They're often advertised as fun, lighthearted, and suitable for all ages. However, they can still contain elements that may not be suitable for young viewers. These movies might not have the blood and gore that traditional horror movies do, but they can still contain scary or unsettling imagery. Imagine a young child watching a friendly ghost who, despite its friendly demeanor, still haunts and scares people for fun. It's still a ghost after all, and that can be a frightening concept for a young mind to process. Moreover, these movies often deal with themes of death and the supernatural, which can be quite heavy for kids. They might not fully understand what they're watching, but they can still be affected by it. This can lead to nightmares, fear of the dark, and other anxiety-related issues. I mean, who wouldn't be a little spooked after watching a movie about a family moving into a haunted house, right? In addition, these movies can desensitize children to fear and horror. They might start to see these elements as normal or even entertaining, which can skew their perception of reality. It's like giving them a sugar-coated pill of fear that they unknowingly swallow. This is not to say that all family-friendly horror movies are bad. Some can be a good way to introduce children to the concept of fear in a controlled environment, as long as it lines up with the Word of God. However, it's important to consider the potential effects these movies can have on young minds. In conclusion, family-friendly horror movies might not be as innocent as they seem. They might be dressed up in colorful animation and fun characters, but beneath the surface, they can still be quite chilling. Remember, just because a movie claims to be family-friendly doesn't mean it won't have your kids quaking in their boots. Well, folks, we've had quite the haunting discussion today. We've traversed the spooky facts, braved the frightening faith angle, and even dared to say boo to family-friendly horror. We've learned that even the cutest of ghouls and goblins can leave a lasting, not-so-pleasant impression on our little ones. Especially for our young Christians, the hair-raising scenes and eerie tales can subtly undermine the foundation of faith and values we've been working so hard to build. We've also seen how these flicks can lead to sleepless nights, not just for the kids, but for us adults too. Remember the last time you had to check under the bed or in the closet 3 times over? Yeah, not so fun. So next time you're considering a movie night, maybe pick something a little less spine-chilling and a little more spirit-lifting. Because remember, laughter is the best fright medicine. Well, that's a wrap on our spooktacular discussion today. If you found this video enlightening, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and share it with your friends. Maybe they are also wondering if that cute ghost movie is a good idea for the next family movie night. And if you want to keep up with more of these insightful videos, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified about our latest content. But don't just be a silent viewer. We want to hear from you too. What's your take on horror movies and faith? Do you think they can coexist? Or is it better to keep them separate? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, your interaction helps us create better, more relevant content for you. So don't be a ghost viewer. Join the conversation. We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Until next time, keep those lights on and remember, laughter is the best fright medicine.